information in the five elements. So we will learn this today, that how, and this is today studied under the field of quantum science, right? If you see our culture, we have been using water in all rituals, right? Without water, we do not start a ritual. Whether we go to a temple or whether we are going to a church. So water is something which is always considered to carry information. And that's how some of us know that we have something called water therapy, where we start speaking good to the water and then we consume the water, right? This is something which is called biohacking. But when I say biohacking, people always think of high funded technology and think of, okay, this has to be something sophisticated. But the answer is very simple. It is deeply rooted in our culture. If we just open our eyes, open our mind, and accept it. So let us get started. Before we start, no, we are here to understand that how we can optimize our health and well-being. Now, before we discuss how, it is very important to understand that what somebody had to say about solving certain problem. And who better than Nikola Tesla would suggest us that how you can solve the greatest of secrets by just thinking in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Somebody had asked him that, how do you think that you can solve certain problems? And he said, I just look at energy, frequency, and vibration. So he solved, actually, Nikola Tesla, I'm sure you would have read about him, that how he solved the electricity crisis or the energy crisis. Unfortunately, we do not have the technology today available to people. But yes, he solved the energy problem by looking into energy, frequency, and vibration. So yes, everything in life is energy, frequency, and vibration. If we have to solve something, we must look at not just the physical level. We have to look at a level which our eyes cannot see. And even Albert Einstein has to say that everything in life is vibration, right? So we'll have a look at this video and try to derive certain conclusions, and then we'll move forward, right? Let's have a look.
It is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequencies on matter.
Now the question is, what is happening in this video? How the five elements are changing by certain musical tones. Now, musical tones are nothing but frequencies, and these musical tones were soothing musical tones. And as you saw, that every time a soothing musical tone was played, there was certain coherence in the five elements. The Panch Tattva of our body is also made of fire, water, solid particles, space, air, etc. So we saw in this video clearly that every time there was soothing music connected to these Panch Tattva or the five elements, they started performing in coherence, as if like somebody dancing to the music. That exactly happens to our body. This was first performed by Dr. Hans Jenny, who proved in 1930s that every time you gave a positive stroke from his, he did that experiment with his violin, that every time he gave a positive stroke in his violin, the structure of solid particle, the sand particles which he connected to the metal plate, formed coherence. And every time he gave a negative stroke from his violin, there was a disharmony or non-harmony in the pattern of those salt particles, hence proving that every positive emotion brings coherence in our body and every negative emotion brings non-coherence in our body. Why we are discussing this from the perspective of energy, frequency, and vibration? Because you will see ultimately we all can take charge of our health if we start understanding how frequencies, vibration, and energy works, right? So Now this is the thing which I started the session with by saying certain things to the water. This was first performed by a Japanese scientist, Masaru Emoto, who performed an experiment into 12 different rooms. He had 12 different groups, and they had no bowl of water, and each group was asked to say certain words or sentences in front of the water, and with help of a very specific, very specially designed camera, he took the photographs of the water particles or of the crystal formations in the water, proving that the coherence was brought by positive affirmations and non-coherence was brought by negative affirmation. So you see, when you say thank you to the water, this is how the water becomes. This is how the formation of water, the crystal, the water particles, water molecules takes this shape. When you say wisdom, truth, eternal, angel, I love you, peace, these are the formations, and these are so soothing, isn't it? This is so beautifully structured water. Now, if you see, when you say evil, polluted water before prayer, polluted water after prayer. So you just see the last two pictures, that even the water was polluted, but with help of prayer, the coherence was brought even in the polluted water. Right? Then you see the extreme down on the left side, you see, you make me sick. How is the formation of the water particles? Again, no, Masaru Emoto proved that what we are practicing from thousands of years in India actually is true. Right? For this experiment, by the way, Masaru Emoto was called a pseudoscientist. But if you get to understand that from last 2 years, quantum physics is getting awarded in Nobel Prize categories, and in fact, Nobel Prize in chemistry went to no quantum chemistry last year. Again, it also had to share something similar to what Masaru Emoto has said no, almost 20, 30 years back. Now, we again come back to the same topic, that how we can take charge of our health. But before we discuss how we can take charge, we have to understand the root of all diseases or disorder. And the root of all disease and disorder, whether somebody believes in allopathy or homeopathy or Ayurveda or Unani, Pranic, Reiki, there are different modalities of general well-being. They all will tell you that the root of all disease is nothing but stress. I know WHO says that the root of all disease or disorder is stress. If you read Louis Hay, Heal Your Life, Heal Your Body, he says the 99% of diseases are psychosomatic, means it is coming from emotions, mostly negative in nature. So we all agree, and whether as an entire community of different modalities, we all agree that the root of all diseases is stress, whether it is diabetes or thyroid or cancer, it is stress. Right? For example, if you read Dr. B.M. Hegde's book on what doctors don't get to study in medical school, there you will learn that only and only reason for cancer is depression. Right? That's what Dr. B.M. Hegde had to say. So we learned that stress is the root cause of all disease. And what is stress? Stress is negative energy in motion. So stress is an emotion. Emotion is energy in motion, and energy in motion is vibration, and vibration is cluster of frequency. So ultimately, it is the negative vibration or negative cluster of frequency which changes the harmony of our body, and it becomes diseased or comes out of order. That is called disorder. So when we have to bring back into order, what we have to do? Right? We have to change those negative frequencies into positive frequencies. It's so simple, right? If the lid of the bottle is open and I have to close it, what should I do? So I have to put the lid back and close it. So if we are talking, so people are running behind solving diabetes, but they are not understanding that you have to change the frequency from negative to positive. People are trying to solve thyroid, but they are not thinking that the root of thyroid is a stress hormone, which is produced by our body when there is certain type of stress. When you read Louis Hay, Heal Your Life, Heal Your Body, you will also find out why females have more thyroid than male, because that emotion is generally present in females, and that's how more females have thyroid than males. So are we trying to solve thyroid, or should we solve the stress? And when I say that we have to solve the stress, it means converting that negative vibration into positive vibration. right? So let's have a look at a video and understand deeply that how frequencies and vibration change our human health.
One of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla, the genius who lit the world, once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Say you are listening to the radio in your car and do not like the music that you are hearing. What do? You change the frequency. What many people fail to realize is that we can take charge of our frequencies in the exact same way. We tend to reduce our body's anatomy down to a simplified version that consists of only flesh and blood. But everything on this planet, animals, plants, and water, are made of atoms, which produce, emit, and receive energy, which operates at a specific frequency. Everything. All our tissues, cells, organs, emotions, and thought patterns have their own unique electromagnetic fields, as do allergens, viruses, or bacteria. All things have a frequency, including you, the human body. It has been shown that a normal person has a frequency of 62 to 72 megahertz. When the body drops below this frequency, we begin to get into illness and disease states. For example, if our frequency drops to 58 megahertz, then we are likely to get a cold or flu. If our frequency drops to 42 megahertz, we become susceptible to cancer within the body. The lower the frequency,
Exactly.
the closer we are to
The
death.
closer we are to death. Today, we all know by different experiments, different scientific proof that every human body is vibrating at 62 to 72 megahertz when the person is healthy. So every healthy human being has this vibration range of 60 to 72 megahertz. And when these vibrations go down, that is where we get into disease state. For example, if we start vibrating at 58 megahertz, that's where we are more prone to get fever and cough and cold. When we start vibrating at 42 megahertz, that is when we are more prone to get cancer. Now, the question is, how do we reach 258? Nobody wants to go there. And how do we go to 42 megahertz? Now, the answer is very simple. Again, I'll be quoting from Louise Hay's Heal Your Life, Heal Your Body. She says that the emotion of fear and insecurity leads to fever, that is 58 megahertz. Right? The emotion, any negative emotion in the deepest form leads to 42 megahertz. So mostly it is deep-rooted anger or unresolved guilt, that leads to depression or kind of deep sorrow that leads to cancer. So imagine that every negative emotion is so dangerous to our body if we have that emotion for a long time. And that's how some people say, right, that before anger can kill somebody, it will kill you first, right? Why? Because our body is not just a physical body. It does so many things. It produces so many biochemicals by just thought. Let us do an experiment. I want all of us to close our eyes for a while. Take few deep breaths. And just think of your favorite food. Maybe it is chicken biryani, maybe it is ice cream, maybe it is something else. Maybe it is a masala dosa. Just think of that food which you love the most. I am sure you would have sensed the taste, you would have smelled the food, and you would have got saliva in your tongue, in your mouth. How was this possible? Yeah, you can open your eyes now. Just imagine, how is this possible? Our body is governed by our thought. And that's what we learned, that every negative thought can change your biochemical structure of the body, thereby changing the health of a person. And that's how we see that how important it is to be positive and to come out of all those negative emotion ASAP. Now, if you don't like the song in the radio, if you switch on the radio and you tune into one channel and you don't like the song, what do? You change the frequency, you change the channel, right? And tune into the right frequency. Can we do this with our body, our human body? Can we just change the channel and tune into the right frequency? If let's say we are not vibrating at the right frequency, is it really possible? Yes. In India, from thousands of years, we have been practicing practices like sadhana, meditation. There are so many modalities where in other parts of the world, like Reiki, pranic, crystal healing, sound healing, Lama Fera, gemstone therapies. There are so many therapies designed, and all these therapies were designed to do only and only one thing, that is bringing back the coherence in our thought, thereby changing the frequency of our body and thereby becoming healthy. But over a period of time, we lost value of our own system, our own culture, and we became more and more dependent towards the Western culture. Right? We tried to solve problem with chemicals, but ultimately we have realized, especially after COVID, that only chemicals won't help. Yes, doctors are very important, medicines are also very important, but that cannot become a lifestyle. But today, I see, especially senior citizens, they take pride in having a box of medicine and opening up and taking pills after and before breakfast or their meal, right? So yes, but has it been proven by the modern science today that yes, we can change the frequency of a person? Yes, it was Dr. Royal Rife in 1934 who invented a machine size of a mini refrigerator, which would had two regulators, and these regulators were designed in such a way that it would generate frequency just like the radio, right? And the frequency will be transmitted in the patient's body by using copper electrodes. Now, Dr. Rife was heading a medical department in US in 1934, and to prove that his technology is working, what he did, he enrolled 16 terminal cancer patients into his program, and guess what? All of them got healed, right? All of them got healed. So he must have been given a Nobel Prize. He must have been awarded, rewarded. But you know what? That was 1934. He was not awarded or rewarded. Rather, something opposite happened to him. He was removed from his position. His research was destroyed. In the same year, the US federal government passed a law that anybody practicing anything apart from allopathy will be sent behind bars. It became illegal overnight to practice frequency therapy, to practice Ayurveda, homeopathy, or herbology, or any modality of healing apart from allopathy. But that did not stop the scientific minds to do more and more research, what Dr. Rife had started. After almost 20 years of his research, they found many proofs and evidence by various experiments around the world proving that yes, frequencies, microcurrent, and voltages have the ability to change human health. And this particular science is especially studied under the field of quantum science, right? And in this quantum science, we learn that yes, if we look at our body not just at a physical level, but look at our body from a non-physical level, it will be more powerful and easy to solve a problem. Now, what is quantum physics? I'll just have to explain. We all know that we have studied in our physics that we live in a three-dimensional world. But in Bhagavad Gita, it says we live in Maya, that is 14th dimensions we have around us, right? We live in 14-dimension world. That's what our Vedic system says. Quantum science also says a similar thing. They say that we live in a 12-dimensional world. And guess what? 12, 11, 10, 9, these dimensions are called the God's dimension. Science speaking about God, that's how quantum science and spirituality, they are close to each other. They lead to the same point, right? So there are scientists around the world who have figured out that how you can tap into higher dimensions. So x-axis, y-axis, z-axis is the 3D world. Albert Einstein said, no, there is another dimension called the time dimension. Then it became 4-dimensional world. But quantum science says, no, there are even beyond time, that is up to 12 dimensions. And there are scientists, especially Bochertheim was the first scientist, a German scientist, who gave equations to find out what is happening at 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th dimension. And today we have found out, the scientists have found out to tap into this dimension. If I tell you that there are a team of doctors, scientists who have figured out a way to find out what is going in a person's life without taking taking any blood sample or any saliva sample or any kind of sample, and finding out that how you are thinking, what is happening in your body, what is happening inside your mind, what is happening in your life. If I tell you that I have a technology which was developed by a German scientist, and it can tell you that what are you thinking, how's your life, how's your behavioral pattern, what is your nutritional deficiencies. And not only that, you can heal yourself, because the technology can also produce quantum frequencies to correct the frequencies, just like the radio and the Dr. Rave's technology, which we discussed. Will that not be empowering? Will that not be so amazing that today we can have a technology at our service which can not only tell you the current state of our well-being and also fix it? Why it is so important to find out? Right? People think that, oh, at 45, I went to the hospital and the doctor suggested that I am diabetic. So I became diabetic at 45. The answer, the statement itself is wrong, because you did not become diabetic at 45. You were getting diabetes from last 10-15 years. Your pancreas did not stop performing overnight at 45. Rather, it started degrading its performance, year after year, year after year, year after year. And when there is a symptom, then we go to the doctor. So let's imagine this bottle is your body, and this bottle has an input valve, and let's imagine that there is an output valve. In our body, we have an input, our mouth, and output, we have excretion system, sweat, urine, etc. So our body is designed in such a way that no matter what you put in, the body tries to take the best of it and throw the rest of it. That's the process. That's how they say that the body is the best doctor and food is the best medicine. Right? So when we take something, where we take food, or whether we are taking the air inside our body, we are taking water inside our body, we are taking negative emotions in our body. So the toxic load with food, we have toxins, fertilizers, chemicals used in our food today. With water, we have challenge, it is polluted. With air, it is definitely polluted. With emotion, it is mostly polluted, right? All these things getting in our body, and our body, what it does, it figures out a way to push it out of the body, to flush it out of the body. But what happens, the rate at which you are putting the toxin and the rate at which the body is throwing away the toxin is not matching. And when there is a mismatch, then the deposit of toxin starts to happen, and gradually this bottle will fill up. And when the bottle fills up, it starts overflowing, and that is where the symptoms are given by your body. And then we go to the doctor, and then the doctor says, you have diabetes, you have asthma, you have BP, you have etc. Right? This is how our body works. So what if there is a technology which can figure out much before the symptom that there is something wrong in your liver, there is some energy mismatch in your heart, there is something happening in your kidney, much before you get a symptom? I am talking about a technology like that. Will that help you? Absolutely, yes. It has, since last 2 years when I'm working on this technology, we have got 50,000 recorded testimonies. And these are the scientists and the brain behind, who have average experience of 35 to 40 years into frequency and quantum science healing, using quantum therapies. And this is the future, right? The future is that we are heading towards an era where it will become an inevitable fact that frequency will be the future. The frequency medicine will be the future. You see here, Dr. Albert Einstein said the future of medicine will be the medicine of frequency. And not only that, McKinsey and company said the next normal will be the future of wellness will be something which will be customized and for general use. So something which will be more customized for people to use the technology, something which will be more comprehended when it comes to health. And there is also 1 second. Just give me a moment. I think something went wrong. Yeah. So there is something wherein we will also find out that researchers and say more advanced technology, which could give user a readout of their state of health every day, offers the possibility of enabling people to regulate their behavior to optimize their health. This was said by World Economic Forum on 15th of Feb 2022. So when you look at 100 years back statement of Albert Einstein, and when you look at today what McKinsey had to say, what the World Economic Forum has to say, they simply say the future of wellness will be connected and customized as per people need. And there will be technology which will regulate your behavior. Behavior is regulated by our thoughts. Thoughts are regulated by our environment, that is our frequencies around us, the frequencies which are generated by our body through emotions. So even the World Economic Forum is saying that we are moving towards a technology where people will have a technology in their pockets, and they will be able to regulate their behavior, thereby optimizing their health. This is not what I am saying. This is what these big organizations have to say. And that is what I will love to end my session by saying, that 30 years back, nobody thought that we will have communication in our pocket, right? We'll not have, nobody thought that everybody will have a personal customizable communication devices in our pocket. Before that, we had STD booths, which was not customized, which was for everybody. But today we carry this gadget, and it is not just our phone, it does a lot of things for us. But it was one company who thought we can give mobile phone in everybody's pocket. That was Motorola. 100 years back, one company thought that we can give watches in everybody's hand. And today people are wearing smart watches to see how their health is, how their heart rate is, how their BP or sugar is. Now we are heading towards a future where people will have a customizable device in their pocket, which can tell you what are you thinking, that it can read your mind, body, and soul, and then correct it through quantum frequencies. And the future has arrived. We are already having this in India. So thank you so much, Radhika, for giving me this opportunity and inviting me today for this session. I am open for all the question answers. I'm sure I did not take much time. I finished on time. So please, if somebody has question, please reach out. And also, if you want to experience the technology which I just shared with you, you can get in touch with us by filling the Google form, which is there in your chat box. And also on my screen, I shared my number. So you can get in touch with us. You can also get in touch with Vishwa Talks and get our contact details, and we can give you a free session to all of you to have a one-to-one analysis online on Zoom. You don't have to be even physically present. Online on Zoom, we can tell you what are you thinking, what is the state of your organ, what is happening in your life, to a point that where you will actually be surprised at how this technology is able to tell a lot of things without even being physically being there in front of you. So we can do that on Zoom and amaze you with our technology, because it is working on AI, it is working on quantum science and quantum entanglement, right? So please get in touch with us. You have our Google form on the chat box. You can fill that Google form so that our team can reach you out and give you a free demo session on how this technology actually works. So thank you so much, Radhika. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was an amazing session, and thank you for introducing what quantum frequency technology means and how it is there in everyday life, and yet we do not know anything about it. So before we move on to Q&A, I would like to request the audience to take 30 seconds to answer a poll. The poll is to help us understand you a little better so that we can better curate the topics that we bring to you. And I would like to express my gratitude to everybody who has joined us in today's session and making the session more interactive with your presence. And I would like to express my gratitude to our speaker, Mr. Vikas Kishore Singh, for taking your time to grace the event, and to all the participants. Now our founder, Ms. Srivani Mullapudi, will continue the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful session.
My pleasure, ma'am.
At a time when mental health issues are on the rise in the country in a big way, at a time when we're getting urbanized, people are moving from the villages to the cities with lesser support structure. You coming and sharing about all this is a huge direction for all of us.
Thank you so much.
And there's a huge participation to listen to you and what you have to say.
Thank you.
I'll first go to Mr. Shmuel. He has a question for you.
Yes.
Shmuel, would you like to unmute yourself?
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Very interesting presentation. And I want to ask you next question. I want to ask you how approach of quantum energy can support improvement social and economic well-being of poor and low socioeconomic groups of population.
That's a very good question,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Sorry, Samuel. Yeah, Mr. Samuel, that's a very good question. And his question, if I'm not wrong, please correct me. His question was how this quantum science can help somebody economically and socially. That was the question, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah. See, when we look at the definition of health by WHO, it is not just the physical health which they speak about. They also speak about your social and your financial health. If you are physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and financially healthy, only then you are a healthy person, right? And we know that our inner world is our emotional balance, mental balance, spiritual balance, and our outer world, that is our physical world, is our health and wealth and happiness. What we see, the health, wealth, and happiness is the result of these three inner, inner, what do you call, spiritual health, mental health, and emotional health. These are the inner world or inner root, and the fruit is your physical and your financial health and happiness. So when we are talking in the field of quantum science actually works on the information field. Now, what is this information field? For example, if you know about the weaver bird, when it gives lays egg and finally the bird comes out of the egg. Now the bird starts to fly, learn to fly, they get separated from their parents, and then maybe they never meet each other. Now, and they don't go to any school to learn how to weave the nest. But when that bird which came out of the egg, when the time comes when she becomes a mother, both the mother and father knows how to weave the nest. Our cell is not just physical, it also carries the information of the memory which is coming from our parents, grandparents, etc. Now, when we are talking about social and financial life, it also comes from the information which we carry in our information field, and every cell of our body has that information. Now, when we have a technology like this, it can change or alter the memory or the information in the information field so that the person can be more socially healthy, can be more financially better, because we have programs designed specifically to improve the social life of the person and also improve the finances of the person. Since I have been using it from last 2 years, the technology and the science which we were discussing today, I have seen at least 7 times growth in my own financial status. My social life has improved. I'm able to connect more with people, not just in terms of exchanging numbers, but connection by heart, understanding people better, because now I can find out what is the blockage in my information field that is not allowing me to be socially healthy, physically healthy, mentally healthy, or financially healthy.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
So in India, Shmuel, we have a lot of mantras.
Yes.
The Mahamrutyunjay mantra, which helps in health issues. So like that for everything, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it is mental well-being, there's a lot of mantras. And what I have heard is that while these mantras have been conducted, the frequencies of the water or the elements around have changed. So for the even the socio-economically backward people in India, what I have noticed is they do follow these mantras. They can come from a small village, a small slum, but they do use this automatically. It is not well thought through, like it is scientifically, oh, it is quantum health, energy healing. Some scientists did a program about it or something like that, but it is ingrained in our lifestyles. These mantras, we change the frequencies, which help them in their day-to-day lives. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. There is one question from Mr. A.V.N. Kumar. How to reach the right frequency? Any further resources to go deeper into the subject?
Yes, absolutely. Mr. Kumar, you can get in touch with us. Our team will reach you out. Just fill the Google form and we'll help you out with this. Yeah. Over to you, ma'am.
Another question from Suryabanshi. So 1 second, how to reach the right frequency? I don't know about the right frequency, but what I do, what I practice, I'm telling you. When I go through anxiety or stress, I put on the YouTube, and there are a lot of things available, frequencies for a cold, for a fever, for sleeping, for calming down, for stressfulness. And sometimes what I do is, if there are babies at home and if there are children at home, I use the chakra healing music, and that really helps. I'm not sure about the verification of the right frequency and all, but I do know that these hertz and the difference in the frequencies do help in calming down the children or calming down myself. Another
Yeah.
question from Suryabanshi AK. How can we heal any body with quantum healing? Will it be helpful to heal others?
Yes, absolutely. I will just add up to the previous question. See, we have conducted series of WHO parameter 5 experiments to prove that how these frequencies can change the overall well-being, correct your chakras, correct your aura, correct your mood. And in fact, we have been medically awarded in European Union as a medical technology for depression, anxiety, stress, sleep, certain other mental and emotional challenges, right? So the questions which I get from Bharti, am I right, Bharti ji, that the question you asked is to understand that how it actually work. You might have to go through a detailed session, because this was just in half an hour, and I just wanted to make people aware that how it actually works. So if you want to get more information about it, please get in touch with us. We will be more than happy to help you out with that, right?
Yeah. Another question from Mr. Anup Bagla. Please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, Anup ji.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
yes. So,
There's a lot of disturbance in your voice. You need to figure out, because we can't hear you.
maybe you can type it and I'll be able to help you out with that.
Please send me more details. What details do you need?
Yeah, I want to find state of my present status of mine, and also how to improve upon that. So I know I need all these details. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Ma'am, you want to answer that question?
I didn't follow the question. Are you
The question-
saying you want your family members' frequencies verified to check if they're coming out into any diseases? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want to know the present of my health. So
Please,
how to
we can't
improve
hear
my
you. Please help
Okay,
out.
I understood your question, sir. So no problem. Just fill the Google form. Our team will get in touch with you.
I've already filled up. I've
Yeah,
sent the
yes. Yeah. Sure. We'll get in touch with you for that. Maybe your
right.
audio is breaking, so but yeah, we'll get in touch with you. Ma'am, there's a question from Sagufta Ansari ji. Can we read out that question? Sir, is it possible to get quantum healing from distance? Yes, obviously. See, when we are talking about quantum science, quantum entanglement remains the integral part of it. And if you see in Nobel Prize in Physics in year 2022 went to quantum entanglement. So what quantum entanglement says that if there are two particles with a behavioral pattern with connected with each other, And if you take them miles away, and if you do something with this particle, the other particle starts performing in correspondence with what you are doing with the first particle within, in the same real time. So in quantum physics, there is no space and time. So distance healing, if you would have heard of pranic healers, Reiki healers, they do distance healing. And some people who don't understand that, they might make fun of it. But actually, it is actually what they do is they quantumly entangle the energy of the person and try to influence positive frequencies into the information field. And even if the person is not physically present there, the person sees that change. So yes, in any form of quantum healing, distance healing is definitely possible.
Sir, but I have heard in my circles people charging from 5,000 to 50 lakhs for a session. And is it genuine? Is it something that is used to take people for a ride? How do you distinguish between who are genuine, who are not genuine?
Okay, see, we go by the testimonies generally. People who are into Reiki, pranic, I have never been to a Reiki or a pranic healer for healing. I know a lot of them, but I know that they have clients or they have patients who they have healed, and they come back to them. They refer people. So it is all dependent on who is doing that. That is also a challenge. So it is not actually, you cannot verify that science based on one person. So you need to have the more powerful energy the person carries, the more pure his energies are, the more concentrated his energy is, they will be able to do it even better. Now, but when we talk about this technology, now this technology is not affected by a mood. So let's say somebody is a pranic healer and there is something happening in his or her life. Now somebody has to heal. In that mood, he cannot heal somebody, because for that you have to be in the state of sunya or zero. But when you have a technology which does not has a mood of its own, and it is a science that it is working through quantum entanglement, it is easier for distance healing. And the only way to see it is by understanding, using it, and seeing that how results starts to come in when you do that distance healing. So this is if I have to share a video, I don't know, it is on YouTube. If you see Swami Nityanand Saraswati ji, he has been awarded as Padma Vibhushan Award, and he was sharing in one of his videos that he was in Europe 5 years back, and there were scientists working to heal as astronauts while they are on space. So they quantumly entangle the information of the astronaut, and when they are in space, through frequencies from Earth, they are sending healing. So if the astronaut is not feeling properly, like maybe his digestion issues, maybe he's getting stress. So these scientists from Earth, they send frequencies into the information field of the astronaut without the astronaut being physically present there. So in quantum science, especially in the space agencies, this quantum healing is already being used. But we in general, we are not aware of such things.
There is a lot of thought process. For example, what I'm seeing is a lot of people don't do what they need to do to a child's health when a child falls sick, or there is a financial crisis, or there is a problem in the family. Instead of taking the actions that need to be taken, they completely depend on frequencies and other people healing and Godmen. This collapses the family structure when there is no balance in thought process. So what do you have to say on that?
Very good question. See, our thoughts creates our feeling creates our action, and our action creates result. So when we are totally when we somehow our thought pattern is that, okay, let me take this to a healer and the healer will heal the person. Rather than taking charge of our own life, our own family, we give control in other people's hand. But what if there is a technology that helps you to monitor your own thought, so that you can take charge of your own life, of your own health, of your own well-being and your family's well-being. And when those thoughts starts to change because these frequencies will start ultimately bringing you from the negative side to positive side of it. And when your thoughts will change, your feelings will change. When your feelings will change, your action will change. And when your action will change, your results will change. This process is called the rising of your consciousness. Now, ultimately, if the consciousness is not raised and we just follow certain thing without understanding it, it will not help out. Sadhguru recently said that if 1% population increases their consciousness, the entire universe consciousness will be raised. So when it comes to taking care of our health, we know that going to gym, doing yoga is good, but how many of us do it? We know that, okay, eating healthy is good, but how many of us eat healthy? But we have evidences where we have seen that people who were having unhealthy eating habits, eventually they started eating healthy. We have people who were addicts, no, alcohol addicts, drugs addicts. So we have consciously, with this technology, we have helped them to improve their consciousness, and ultimately they stop the drinking or smoking or taking drugs. So this can only happen when there is a raise in the level of consciousness. Ultimately, this science and technology which I was discussing will help you to raise your consciousness so that you understand only frequencies will not help. Only eating healthy will not help. Only doing yoga will not help. Only thinking positive will not help. There are so many factors which contributes to our health. There are 5 elements, the Panch Tattva. The Akash is the information field. That is where the quantum science, the frequency comes in. But you have to take care of your air, your water, your fire, your earth. All these things has to be taken care of.
So you
So
said
this
5 elements. One is Akash. Akash is knowledge. What about the other elements?
Akash is the information field,
Okay.
right? We say that earth is one element, right? Fire
What,
is one element.
what is earth? What is fire?
Earth is our physical, like what is there, like this is earth, right?
Oh.
The skin is made of what we have become, what we have eaten. So
Okay.
earth is the, we are, so that's how when we do the last rituals, our body ultimately gets dissolved in those 5 elements. So Akash is basically the information field, which if you read this book by Marcus Mike, German scientist, he refers to our Vedas and says generally people think Akash is just knowledge. No, it is the information field. The person might die, but his information never dies.
Radhika, could you just put the name of that author on the
Marcus Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Then what is water? You said earth is information. Earth is physical. Akash is information. What is water?
Water is, we are 70% water, the jal,
Yes.
right? We have the water in our body. 70% is made of water, 30% is made of earth. Then we have the fire element.
Right.
When we think the fire element helps with a lot of biochemical things in our body.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
if Vata, Pitta, Kapha, if we understand in Ayurveda, so
Hmm.
that's a very huge science to discuss. So I don't want to go into that. So these are the 5 elements which we are made of. And ultimately, all these 5 elements have to be taken care of. The food has to be taken care of. So if the child is sick, we are sick, we have to figure out that which of these we are not taking care of.
Okay.
What is happening in our body, right?
Okay.
So ultimately, this quantum science will change your information field, the Akash, and with the knowledge or the information, you can better your earth element, better your fire element, better your air element, better your water elements.
There is a question out here which is asking, is pranic healing and quantum healing different? By Shagufta Ansari.
Actually, no. Pranic healing works on, it is not different, but it is definitely, it comes under the subject of quantum science. So pranic healing is also a quantum science. But when we have scientific evidences, when we have scientific proofs, then we say, okay, no, this is quantum science. For example, we knew that Tulsi is something which you put it in your veranda or put it in the inside the house, open space. It's good. We pray. We do a lot of rituals around Tulsi. But now when the science says, oh, it is a plant which produces maximum oxygen, that validates what the science, what we have been practicing. So pranic healing gets validated when you go deeper into quantum science.
Now, they say that Louise Hay herself passed out of cancer. Is that true?
No. Louise Hay passed out very well and she was 95. She did not have cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
95,
So
at age 86, she was she learned the ballet dancing.
Oh, wow. Is it?
Yeah. So I don't know from where did we get that information, but no, it's not like that.
Okay.
See,
So now that the time is up for 12, we will close the session. For those of you who would like to continue with question answers, you all can continue after that.
In fact, Louise Hay had healed herself from cancer, and that's how she did more research and found out that how your disease is psychosomatic and how you can heal. So she's running a foundation. She's not even alive, but her foundation is running very well. Heal Your Life, Heal Your Body, where she explains, the trainers explain how to heal, and there are so many evidences.
Okay. So yes, Vishwa Foundation has been started to bring about the protection of our heritage and to bring in awareness into the society. At a time when media is completely biased, we wanted to let everybody's voice be heard and everybody's questions be answered. So with this, Vishwa Foundation also has been conducting Annadanam for some time. What we have noticed is that in the hospitals, when people come away from far places, like in Nizam's hospitals or in the cancer hospital, we see people coming from all over Andhra, Telangana, Orissa, Bihar. These people save every rupee to pay for the treatment of the patient. And they're sleeping on the footpaths and they go hungry. So the ecosystem which is around the hospitals, Vishwa has been giving food for them. We also are working with the students in the Vishwa Yuva Vikas, where we've noticed when we are working in slums that lot of people, lot of young children are passing out of 10th, 12th and degree, but they do not know how to write a mail, how to see an Excel sheet, how to use the Word document, how to use ChatGPT. One of the gravest problem that we have is they think English is very important. If we don't know English, we will never grow up in life. At a time when we have ChatGPT, any letter can be written. You say it in Telugu and it writes in English. You know, if we can help these children have the basics, it becomes easy for them to have a job. Because when they go for a job, they may be an engineering BTech pass, but if they don't know how to write a mail or use the basic computer, they don't get jobs. So we're giving a basic education course and almost 500 students are getting trained and all of them require computers. By the grace of some good individuals, we've received 20 computers and we are using those, but then it is not sufficient. So we're also leasing out a lot of computers, which is going into lakhs of rupees. So it'll be useful if those of you who have extra computers or old computers, or you know people in your family or friends who have computers, to donate computers. It can make a child or a youngster get a job and a livelihood for life. I remember a lady who said, you know, her husband passed away and she's got 2 children and she was desperate to do this computer course so that she can get a job. So please do consider, do share it with your friends and family. And for those of you who find Vishwa Talks of some value, we have a lot of fundraisers in Vishwa Talks for food donations, for computer education, for underprivileged kids. We are also starting a new thing called celebrations, where if you want to give it on the date of your child's birthday or your parents' anniversary, in honor of them, you want to celebrate, you want to give them, show your respect. Please do consider joining our fundraisers and support somebody who requires help. And finally, I'll just go on to the next upcoming talks. Community development. Now that elections are around the corner, we have Mr. P.G. Bhatt, a renowned retired naval officer, adjunct professor. He has analyzed the electoral rolls census data. The topic is data-driven democracy to make an informed choice. At a time when elections in India are going through a huge churn, where most of the people who are voting are below poverty line, Their only thought is, if I get that 2,000 rupees on the day of the election or a week before the election, I will vote to whoever gives. They are deciding the future of this country. It is imperative that we in our country, every educated person is aware of what is happening. With this, we are getting Mr. PG, but I request each of you, please call your friends and family, because Facebook, Instagram will not allow us to publicize this particular event at all. No, not even WhatsApp, nobody will allow us to publicize this event. So please ensure each of you get 10 people for this event. Elections, democracy is very critical for us. At a time when there is war between Russia and Ukraine, at a time when there is war between Israel and Gaza, at a time we don't know who is going to jump into that war, whether Middle East will get into that war. We are peaceful in our country. We need to ensure that we are well governed. We cannot afford a Venezuelan crisis. So my request to each of you, ensure at least 10 of your family members or friends come and attend this event. The next talk we have is by Nimesh Bhagia, Harmony with Nature, Your Guide to Organic Skincare, founder of SUYU Organics India, 18th May 2024. Please do come for both these events. With this, I thank Mr. Vikash Kishore. Thank you so much. At a time when, as I already said, when there is so much of mental health issues, you have made it so simple. You know? It's about your thought. Your thought gives your feelings. Your feelings, you've explained it very simply for people to understand and implement it in their lives very logically. Thank you so much. And thank you, Radhika, for you and the Vishwa team for conducting a beautiful event in spite of, I know how much of crisis you're dealing with, and yet the talk becomes impeccable. Thank you so much. And thanks to all the participants who are here. I understand each of you, no matter whether you get the invite, you don't get the invite, whether Facebook comes, whether Instagram comes, you'll have been loyal to Vishwa Talks, you'll are coming regularly, and you'll are asking very pertinent questions. And you'll are engaging in a discussion in a very respectful manner. Thank you so much for all of that.
Thank you.
With this, we close the session. For those of you who have questions, please stay on. Mr. Vikash Agarwal, as per our understanding, Akasha is often mentioned in conjunction with the 4 elements comprising earth, air, fire, water. At its core, Akasha represents a unifying spiritual energy that links all the things. As the 5th element, it is the essential for comprehending the interconnectedness of life's fundamental building blocks.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I said.
Yeah.
That it is something which has to, which corrects all the other elements. So it is interconnected with each other.
Yes, and you've got some acknowledgements. Mr. Prasad Surupneni has said, excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have I missed any questions? Radhika.
Yes, ma'am. Are there any specific chants, music, or techniques that we can incorporate in our daily lives to enhance our energies?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is the most important thing. It has been a part of our culture from thousands of years. So many musical instruments, doing so many things. In fact, I have some friends who conduct. They are very young, and they conduct this musical tours. And the musical instruments they carry is ancient musical instruments played inside the Garbhagriha of temples. And they have done miracles, showing and proving that how music can transform your health, especially when it is inside a closed space with highest energy. That's how we go to the temples, right? We go to the temple, we sit in a particular posture. The temples are designed in such a way that your frequencies can be aligned. You can pray God anywhere, but going to a temple definitely changes your energy, because they are architect marble in terms of the frequencies and energy they carry within those 4 walls, right? Yeah, so it is
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. So we have temples designed for different deities. So are the energies of those deities and temples differ from each temple to temple?
So I'm not a temple expert, but yes, what I have understood by meeting people and experiencing temples, I have understood that yes, we name it deities, or we name, our ancestors have given certain names, but eventually see, for example, we have for energy of abundance, we have Lakshmi, Goddess Lakshmi. For power, we have Durga. So we might have given some names, and their temples are designed in specific ways so that your energies and frequencies, if let's say somebody is very looking forward for more wealth, so he's a devotee of Goddess Lakshmi. Somebody is looking for knowledge, is devotee of Saraswati, and the instrument, the veena that Saraswati carries, the swan which she sits on, everything has meaning and adds to the elements, the five elements coming in coherence with your objective of praying or devoting to that devotee, to that deity, right?
Yeah. We have a question from Prasad Surpaneni.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, it was an excellent presentation.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, in fact, when you were talking about the astronauts far away and how this therapy could connect with them and all, a question does arise. There are, a few people who are like, let's say I have a relative of mine who is very far away. Somebody is very close to me, who remains somehow is not connecting with his, let's say, his parents. He's far away. He's very aloof, bordering on indifference. Basically, there's a lot of concern of the parents that why my child has become so like this. I mean, there's nothing, otherwise, there's absolutely nothing wrong at any level. Neither financial nor there is anything, what you call, it's very surprising, And in these days, it's more to do with behavior, a certain pattern of behavior where you would only wish that. Somebody has given assurance that this kind of healing therapy can work even for people who are away from you, provided you get some basic inputs about that person. And let's say somebody is in USA and I am in India. Can I do something positive to change his behavior pattern? Of course, sorry, I'm just, it's a pretty loaded question, but let me also put it another way. There could be an answer saying that, okay, if this is a free for all thing, it can be it can be used for manipulating on somebody in a negative way. But here we are talking about doing something positive for somebody, a positive behavioral, so it becomes more, so that a person becomes more empathetic, is more social, is all we need. Thank you for the patience,
So much, sir.
listening to the question.
Thank you so much. You have asked a very good question. Can we use the same technology to manipulate in the wrong way, right? When you read about Bockenheim, when he had this equations for up to 8 dimensions, he was very particular that he will not give this technology to any government. So the Russian spy agencies, the Israelis, the Americans, they wanted that technology from Bockenheim. Even he did not give it to their own government, right? Germans. So they did not give it to anybody. Bockenheim did not give it to anybody until unless he found somebody who he was sure that he is a monk and he will use it for well-being. He transferred that technology to him, and that's how we came up with the technology which we have today. I always give this example and reference. Let's say you have a Tesla car or a self-driven car, rather naming a company. Let's say you have a self-driven artificial intelligence based car. Now, let's say you hack that car. What can happen? You can maybe fail the brake, like brakes will be failed and the car goes and dashes. That's what you can do. But can you make the car fly? You will perform within the limitations, the boundary limitations of the car. You cannot make the car swim or fly because that's not what the car can do when it was designed with artificial intelligence. So when you have a technology of artificial intelligence like this, If it is not programmed to perform or to generate negative frequencies, you cannot generate negative frequencies.
Oh, that's a very nice. Thanks for the wonderful explanation. So
So
can I say?
manipulate, if I have to manipulate you, I can manipulate you to be happy, not to be sad.
No, okay, that was an apprehension. That's good. Thank you for the answer. But do we have? Can I hope that suppose you want to bring about a positive transformation in a individual, it could be in this city or elsewhere in a very positive way. Is it possible using this healing therapy? Is my question.
Yes, it is very much possible. That's how I say we invite you to have a demo session with our team. You just fill the form and you can have a free demo session. We don't charge for it. And you see that how we will be able to find out what is happening and over distance. No, you don't have to be, I don't know, like where are you located, sir?
I'm in Hyderabad, of course.
Hyderabad. So you are in Hyderabad.
Somebody, let's say somebody, a relative of mine, luckily, touchwood, nothing big, but I mean, like it's somebody who is overseas, and there's something we are unable to understand the genesis of. I mean, there's nothing seriously wrong. There's no confrontation, nothing. It's just that the person remains reclusive. It doesn't connect.
We have that. We'll figure out. We will help you out with that.
It's a psychological issue. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So we have a question from Rajnikant.
Okay.
Did World Health Organization approve this device and when?
World Health Organization does not approve any device or any medicine. It is different like FDA or European Medical Association, or there are different bodies which approve that. The WHO has a standard for performing certain trials and certain evidences that according to those parameters, the trials were taken and then submitted. The WHO does not approve. It is FDA and European Medical Association. The European approved by that. It is cleared as a class 2 medical device by FDA and as a medical device for pain, migraine, chronic pains, stress, anxiety, depression, sleep disorders. But this is what medical science can understand. See, ma'am, when Sri Vani ma'am was speaking, she said, no, the YouTube will not allow or Facebook will not allow such videos. Why is he saying that? Mainstream science does not want you to stop taking medicines, right? They don't want you to be off hospitals or doctors. They want you to go there, right? So I'm not here to create controversy, so I will not speak much. So please understand that though these bodies have approved our technology, but they don't approve of aura healing. So our technology can heal your aura. They know it can do distance healing. The current medical system does not recognizes the information field. The information field is not recognized by the mainstream science. Like, for example, will the mainstream science recognize our Panch Tattva, Akash, the information field? Will they will they say that okay, Ayurveda is something which is good? They will not say. Right. So yes, it is approved, but I would say that it doesn't matter even if they approve or not. It works. That's more important.
Yeah.
But yes, since we are there in the market, we have to commercially also operate it. So we have to take approvals. We have got 26 pages of approvals, which see, this is not the place where I'm going to promote my technology. I just wanted to share the information which I have gathered so that it can help. I'm not saying do it only with my technology or with me. There are many other modalities, but I'm just talking about the basic science of it.
That's true, sir. We have a question from Satish Shinde. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, madam. Good afternoon. Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I am from Karnataka. My upline is Shailendra, sir. Yet to buy healing.
No, sir. We will not discuss that here. It's not that platform. You can discuss that offline. If you have any,
but I would like to ask one question, sir.
That question you ask me personally. So you get in touch with me. My number is 90355 33306. Note it down.
90355
33306.
33306.
Yeah, you can ask that question in my personal. This is not the platform to ask that question here. So, yeah. But I appreciate your participation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, actually, is there any
Sorry, you got muted, I guess. You can get in touch with me. No problem. You can get in touch with me. Yeah, Radhika, we can take next question.
There's a question from Gauri. Is it possible to treat autism?
See, it's a genetic, more of a genetic challenge or a disorder. Anything in disorder can be brought in order. But I wish I could tell you that, okay, you use quantum science or quantum therapy and you'll be completely out of autism. No, but yes, we have got tremendous result in terms of their behavior of the child, their learning abilities, their anxiety, their aggression. These children are very aggressive. They don't sleep properly. They don't behave in certain manner. So it becomes very challenging for the parents for with an autistic child. So we have seen results in terms of they coming down, they're sleeping properly, their digestion getting improved. I have a child of a lady, Miss Priya from Bangalore, and her daughter is autistic. And we had an event in Bangalore, and she came to that event on wheelchair. She was using our technology from last 6 months. When I met her for the first time, it was very difficult for us to manage her for 5 minutes. 5 minutes she could not sit quietly. She came to event, she sat for 4 hours without making noise and without disturbing her mother. And the mother, like she's of my mother's age, she touched my feet. I literally had to touch her feet back and said, please don't do that. He said, no, you don't know what has happened to my daughter. She has never sat for so long. And when I said that we are going to meet you, she was so happy. Because she knows that somehow you gave that science or technology to her and she is feeling better. She can't speak, but she can only express through her smile and through her certain gesture. So we have seen many results, but curing is something which I cannot commit.
I think Rajnikant wants to speak.
Yes, Mr. Rajnikant. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. This is Rajnikant from
Yes.
India, Tamil Nadu, and Kumbakonam. Last 3 or 4 months, one of my friend is Mustaq Ahmadu. He told about the Healy and quantum science. So today I attend the session. Really very helped to me, and then lot of information I got from here. Then I'm a natural therapist. I'm a dawn healer, and then I'm an astrologer also. So really, one of my friend is using this device. Very better. It is one of the God product. It is a God product. So I want to know about the Healy, but I have only one small questions. Normally, it's a food and lifestyle, and then structural balance. We are currently following the method with the Panchabhuta Tattva, and then the Healy. If maybe the Healy is a primary, or food, lifestyle, structural balance is a primary. I want to know about that. If maybe we are using the Healy, it will recommend to the our life system. This is my smallest question. Thank you.
Thank you so much. First of all, your name is so fantastic. I only
Thank
know
you so much.
one Rajnikant which we saw on TV. Now I know the second Rajnikant. So thank you so much. That's what Srivani ma'am has asked me this question. So I have answered this question, but I will repeat. See, yes, as I said, all these 5 elements are important. Food is also important, but information field is also very important. But eventually, when you have when you have corrected the Akash, that information, the knowledge, eventually you will be conscious about your diet, about your sleep, about your healthy lifestyle patterns. Those are also very, very important. It does not mean that you are taking some quantum therapy and you go and have a poor lifestyle or a bad lifestyle or addictive lifestyle. And if you are having quantum healing or quantum therapies, it will be very difficult for you to go and perform something which is not in coherence with your consciousness. So it is both ways, right? So even if you consciously go and disturb your lifestyle, and when you are consciously also healing yourself, your consciousness will not allow you to go and mess up with your lifestyle, right? So it is
Thank
all connected. It is all connected. It is not only one thing which will help you. Yes, I know that we have got amazing testimonies, and that is the reason why we are growing. Every 30 minutes in India, one family is adopting our technology. Every 30 minutes. So that is happening because of our customers who are getting results, and they are sharing their experience with their dear and near ones. And that's how Mr. Mustaq, you said, has told you his mother was going into this Alzheimer's. She was forgetting, right? And when she used our technology, she started to remember things what has happened in her childhood. So he was very much amazed, and he called me and he thanked me. So yeah, thank you so much for your feedback and your question. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Over to you, Radhika.
Yeah. So I would like to end the session, sir. So thank you all the participants for taking your time and attending this Vishwa talk. So I request the speaker to join in the breakout room. There's a link. Yeah. So lastly, please take a moment to subscribe to Vishwa Talks to get alerts on every new and exciting talk, exclusive events, and access to Vishwa community. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. See you all in next Vishwa Talk.